Hello everybody. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to hit that. I saw this on my blog. I said yesterday I was going to make a card and send it to someone I haven't seen in a number of years. So I found this card on Pinterest, and all I do is print the picture off. Sometimes I'll go to the website and look for a tutorial. Usually I'll just take the picture like this, print it off, and then do some math. So I'm going to make a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card, and it's of course not going to be exactly like this one because I don't have these papers. So we're going to play it by ear, use some papers out of my scrap bin, and I'm going to try to make a card with y'all right here, right now. Alright, so that's the card, and I'm just going to slide it aside here. And I had some card bases left over from making Christmas cards. So that's what this is. That's the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I figured out that my background piece on the picture here needs to be about 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So we're going to cut that out of this piece right here, and I will get my cutter. This is the Recollections cutter that I bought not too long ago, and I kind of have mixed emotions about it. You just have to be really careful how you line the paper up and all. Sometimes I don't know, I have a little bit of trouble with it being straight. So I will cut the 5 3/8 first. So I don't know if I'm in shot. I lined it up with the 5 3/8 over here. And I'm just going to make sure I look like I'm straight. And I'm going to cut that off like this. And so that'll be scrap. And then this way will be 4 1/8. So there's the 4 1/8. And that's where I have trouble because it's right where the little thing bends out. I don't know. I do like one thing about this. You can push the cutter out of the way, and it also has a scoring thing on here. So I do like that. Alright, we'll just set that aside real quick. And I'm just going to double check this really quick to see if I did okay here. Yeah, that looks good to me. And I will center that on there just like that. Okay? The next thing I figured out is I did not figure out the background piece around these. I just figured out what these strips, the colored printed strips, should be, and then I will cut some red out that is 1/8 of an inch wider than the strips that I'm cutting. So I'm going to cut the colored strips first. I know that sounds maybe backwards to everybody, but that's just what I'm going to do. So I figured the strips, and it shows 4 different strips. So I've got 4 different prints here. I hope I've pulled out enough. If not, I'll just reach behind me and we'll grab whatever I can find. These strips need to be 1 inch thick, or wide, whichever way you want to think about it. 1 inch wide by 3 3/4. And see there, I'm going to have to use that silly thing that pokes out, and that's where I have trouble. Because see, there's nothing there at that mark. So I'm just going to go right there, and we'll do a test see on this piece and see how that lines up. Because remember, I've got to have room for the red piece as well. I'll cut that a little bit shorter. I don't have a line really to, and I'll use the end of where the silver is and see if that'll do all right, and hope. All right, I'm gonna go with that. So I'm gonna stop that, whatever that would be. I'm sorry, I can't give you exact measurements because of this weird thing I'm using. So I need to cut this piece. I'm going to bring that down a little bit because it doesn't seem straight, and I'll straighten it up. All right, I'm going to turn this around and see if I can get a straighter cut. There we go. And then I need the 1 inch. Okay. So that gives me 2 of the prints now. All right. And then I'm going to cut one out of this here. So I'll cut my long measurement here, which is, like I said, just to the end of the silver on this cutter because there's nothing there to tell you the measurement. And I'll cut that off, and then a 1 inch strip. Okay. And we need one more print. Now Tesla's going to get in on the act. He thinks it's funny. So we'll come in here and get this cut down through like that. And then a 1 inch strip. I'll make an interesting 1 inch strip. Uh-oh. I'm ready for spring, you guys. I don't know about everybody else, but I'm ready for it. So now we're going to cut that like that. All right, so now I have the 4 strips, the colored strips that go across the front of the card, like so. Okay, so now that's my base. I have more bases that I was going to chop up for strip usage. All right, this needs to be 1/8 of an inch bigger. So if I cut this at 1 1/8, that'll give me just a little teeny bit. See, I wish it had the lines at the other end so you could make sure you were straight. So we'll just see. Gotta move the blade. I'll cut this off and hope I'm at the right amount here. And then, all right, this is the part that's going to get weird. Okay, let's see. I guess I'll come out to where the silver begins on this thing that pokes out and see if that'll work. I hope it will. So now I've got this here. Looks pretty good to me. And we'll see if it'll fit on here. Looks good. So we'll try that again. Looks like I'm going to have to cut another 1 1/8 strip because that's not going to be enough for a whole strip. Alrighty. So we got that there. Let's see if we can get another 1 1/8 inch strip. Oh, this is going to be hard to do here. Let's see here. Uh-oh. Alright. That little piece, I know Amelia's going to cringe, but I'm throwing it in the trash. Because I have so much scrap, it's not funny, and I don't see me ever using it all. And I'm sorry if I bumped the camera. I've got it set up close to me. Okay, so that should give me all the pieces I need for the boundaries of my strips. Okay, so that's those 4. Now, let's pull our picture back. Alright, now we've got this piece here. And to me, it looks slightly wider than the strips this way. So I'm going to add, make it 1 1/2 inch strip of a pink. So I guess I'll use this one. This was from a Valentine stack, I guess. So if I use a 1 1/2 inch strip, okay, and then it looks like in the picture that it comes up maybe, it almost looks like it's offset, doesn't it? So there's like 3/4 of an inch here and maybe 1/4 of an inch on that side. So let's cut it 1 inch short of the 5 1/2. So cut it at 4 1/2. like I said, I just do this all in trial and error. And I'm not gonna bother with my strips too much. See, that looks pretty good. So, I've got some other card bases that had a little water spilt on them, but I didn't throw them out because I figured there'd be something like this. I could just use them for strips. So I need a strip. All right, so this one was what? 4.5. So we need to cut this. All right, I said 1.5 on the width, right? So if we cut a strip off, that is 1 5/8. 1 5/8 that way. We'll hold that because we need one more little piece. And then this, I cut at 4.5, so we cut at 5/8. And that should give me my little border. All right. Now, there's one more little print here that we need to cut out of something very light that we can stamp the sentiment on. Let me just see what I have here. All right, look, I've got this, I've got like a parchment. That might work. And I will cut this one back at the 1 inch. I hope I have a stamp this size. I guess I should have checked that first, eh? We'll make it work one way or another. So I'm going to cut this at 1 inch. I've got plenty here. If it doesn't look right, we'll try again. And I cut that pink strip at 4.5. So if I cut this one maybe at 4 1/8, let's see what that looks like when we layer it on here. Let's see here. And then we'll put that on here. And that actually looks pretty good. Maybe it needs to be, needs to be slightly shorter. So slightly shorter than that. Maybe at the 4 inch. 4 inches by 1 inch. So I need a strip of red that is, like I said, I'm just using this scrap up. 1 1/8. Is that right? I think it is, but you know what? That looks crooked. 1 1/8, maybe here. It is crooked as it can be. Alrighty. Let's see if we can straighten that up just a little bit. Alright. And I cut that other at 4, so at 4 1/8 we'll cut this red. And we'll give it a try here. Looks pretty good. Alrighty. My card is probably going to look crazy, but it'll be handmade with love. Right? Okay, so we're going to set that aside. We'll pull all our elements out here. Okay, let me make sure I'm still recording. Yes. Okay. I need a Thinking of You. Let's see. I just had all these stamps out earlier. These are all I should have found this earlier, but it'll be all right. We're going to make it work. All right, this is the one I wanted. Because see, there's the Thinking of You, and it looks exactly like the one, well, very similar. So I'm going to pull this off from here. I bet I left the baby wipes out in the other room. Okay, I'm just going to lay this down here. Like so, and put the stamp on. straight as I can get it. Let's come down a little bit so that that part is on my line on here. All right. And thanks to Sherry, she said to get a piece of this foam, and I have found that stamping on this foam really helps you get a nice impression. So what color ink should we use? Black? Would black be all right? Alright, let's do this. Get these over here. I have these two blues. I think I'll just do black. They did pink. I don't have a pink. Which one is closer to the turquoise on here? I'm going to use the Studio G one. We'll see what it looks like. And okay, I'm just going to ink it up. I think I'm getting beyond it. Let's just see what that looks like. I've got a piece of scrap paper here. It's pretty light. I don't know. I think maybe I'll do black. I just use the tuxedo black ink. I think that's what this is. Yeah, tuxedo black. All right. We'll see how this looks on our... I'm going to come over a little bit because I want it to give me room for the flower you have to add at the end. Uh-oh, it's stuck. That looks pretty good. A little wonky, but it'll be all right. We'll make it work, won't we? All right, I'm going to set that aside. I'll clean that up in a minute because the baby wipes, like I said, are in the other room. So while this ink dries, I'm going to assemble the other parts of the card. And I have some of this adhesive here, and I'm just going to start putting it together if I can remember which way to go with it. Guess that's the wrong way. Guess that's the wrong way. Ah, it's empty. So it really was the wrong way. Well, let's break out this adhesive that I bought from Scrapbook Pal, the scrappy tape. We'll just give it a go. Because this was really inexpensive through them. We'll see how it adheres, okay, Laura? Tesla's making snacky sounds. He's out there in the other room. Scott went back over to his mother's for a few minutes. And I had laundry to finish and this card to create, so that's why I am here. We're usually together all the time when we're off from work, but we've been stuck in the house together. I think he needs a break from me. You know, we all need a break every now and again. No matter how much we love somebody, we all need to take our little breaks for ourselves. It's good for us. All right, am I in the shot here? Probably not. And I'm just going to eyeball trying to get this center. Okay, so that's the part that'll go under the sentiment. Now I'm going to put the neutrally colored thing for the background on here. And I'm just putting a little strip on each side of it. Okay, peel these off from here. Now I've gotten to where I open these up because I've put cards together wrong so many times it's not even funny anymore. How many times I've put them together, you know, in the wrong direction or opening backwards or whatever. So this piece of paper I've had for years, back from when I first started scrapbooking, because it's supposed to look like handmade paper. It looks pretty close to handmade paper, I guess. So there's that. And Scott's back, so he's talking with the cat now. He's looking for a handout. I'm gonna try to hurry up with this. I was hoping to be done with it so far. He's trying to convince you I'm starving him while I'm in here making a video. Oh, it's really sticky tape. Hopefully it'll hold everything together, at least until it gets to its recipient. Alright, every time you're doing a video, nothing works, you know? I don't know if y'all can hear the cat food tin, but Tesla just won. He got the snack. So we will put this down as close to center as I can get it. And I'm just going to lay these on here. Oh yeah, that's going to look fine. We'll do some more here. And this was Christmas paper, but that's okay, because we're going to use the other side that doesn't look quite so Christmassy. That's what I like about double-sided paper, especially if the company will take the time to make the opposite side something that's universal, you know, so that you can use it for something besides the holiday that they printed it for. I'm making a video. Why are you looking at me so weird? I've run him off. He looked at me weird and walked away. Ah, well, husbands. Can't live with them. Can't kill them. Anyway, although, you know, I've been watching this show online called something like, can't remember the name of that show now. It's where the women lose control and they end up whacking their husbands off, killing them, burying them someplace. That just freaks me out. Divorce is easier. Staying married is the easiest. Not every day's rosy. You have to take the good with the bad. That's what you promise on the day you get married. But that's my opinion. And sometimes it doesn't work out because one or both are jerks. And in those cases, they deserve to lose the partner that's been faithful. So, anywho, another my opinion. Take it or leave it. So, I'm going to step over real quick and close the door so I'm not bothering him while he's watching YouTube. He has his own how-to things that he watches. So. Alright, so now it's just us crafters in here. And I don't know if I've left enough room. But you know what? We're going to roll with it. I think it's going to be just fine. So, I'm going to bring in my metal ruler here. And slide it in here. See if I can't utilize it to help me see where I'm going. Okay? So I guess we'll start, let's see, that needs to be here to break up that green. There we go. That looks better. Okay, so now let's use some more of this. What is this stuff? Scrappy tape. Scrappy tape. I think it was $3 for these rolls, which is a lot cheaper than score tape. Score tape for a roll like that's about $8 at the local scrapbook store. And I can't bring myself to spending that. I don't know about y'all. $8 is just a little high in my book. Crafting shouldn't have to cost that much. There's that. I'm not going to peel it until I get the tape set on all of them, so that it's a peel and set down all the way down. I do like that this pulls apart like the tape I got from the store that closed down that Lydia was telling me about one time, or us about. That stuff I like too, but they're gone, so I'm going with Scrapbook Pal, thanks to Laura. It's got the best prices on the tape like this. And you know what? I'll do a little test on some scrap so that I'm not... Oh, I tore that too short. That's okay. We're gonna... Let's see if it pulls back up and sticks down okay. You know, some of this tape, once you set it down, it's over with, you know. Okay, so we're going to call this good enough. Okay, now I'll start peeling and sticking it down. I'm not sure what the best way is. Uh-oh. I was just saying it was working pretty good, and then it peeled, it split. Live and learn. But I think it's going to work pretty good for, you know, just general crafting. So I'm going to come in. See, this is where I wish I had. Does that look pretty good? Probably a little crooked. I think I'll do this end next. Okay. Like so. And like I said, I'm not following a tutorial from the website that this card came from or anything. I'm just doing the best I can. Okay. And hoping I'm close enough, as they used to say, close enough for government work. I hope everybody's had a wonderful Easter. We went to Scott's mom's, and had a fantastic meal. She's a wonderful cook. Alright. It's not 100%, but this is the first one I've made like this. So we're going to roll with it. Okay, this is all pretty good here, so we'll put the sentiment down. And this I'm not going to be quite as concerned at the one end, because it'll have stuff on top of it. Okay, to hold it down. So we'll just get this on here. I'm going to have another mess to clean up. That's okay. So we'll put this on here, move that aside. Okay, and then we'll put this onto the pink. Probably got it way too long. Maybe we'll put some little bits like this. And then put this one down the middle. That might work out. Push it down real good so it's grabbing. Alright, and we'll just center that as good as we can, like so. Hey gang, the camera cut out on me. I'm sorry about that. So I didn't realize it was off, and I finished the card. So this was the Pinterest idea right here, okay? And this is my card right here. See if I can see, there's the Pinterest idea and my card. So I think I did pretty good. It dropped off where I was putting the sentiment onto its base, and then I've put it on the card about you know, a little bit lower than it is. You know, there's a less showing here of the strips than there is at the top, so it's dropped down to maybe a 2/3 position. And then after I did that, I fiddled around and found a way to create the flower. See, they have used one of those like enamel gem-like things that have the metal ring. I didn't have any of those, so I've worked with what I had. I punched out the flower using this, I think it's an EK Success punch. And then I used this punch here for the inner little flower there. The Happy Day is a old sticker that I have had for years. And then I've added some ribbon that this is out of the dollar bin at Michael's. And there's some buttons that I got from Craft Supplies 1 in the little aquamarine little button kit that you can get from her. This is what you get. So I used a couple of those. I used one there and one down there. And on the idea sheet, they used flatback pearls, and I just used some of the dollar bin gemstones. So that's what those are. And I think it turned out pretty good. I haven't done anything to the inside or stamped the back yet. But I just wanted to show you my end result of just going, you know, by the picture I saw on Pinterest and not necessarily taking the time to search out the tutorial or whatever. So if you can just kind of eyeball things, you can figure things out. Even if you can't, you know, you're not great at math, just cut strips until, you know, you get the spacing close to what they had. Don't be afraid to try. And thanks for watching, and I'm sorry I didn't get it all on video as far as me, you know, going through the process. And I thank you for watching, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Bye-bye.